So great morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, miss.
How are you, Adish, Shamal, and Fatima? Are things
Good.
going
How are
on
you,
well?
miss?
Okay. Okay. Have you started preparation for the exam? Okay. It's okay. You have enough time. So, Amal, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Please turn it on. So, what all things we learned the last class? It was very easy. Past continuous, right? Okay. Can you give me a few sentences in past continuous? After that, we can proceed to the next chapter.
She was studying.
Yes, she was studying, right? Then.
He was working on the project.
Is working on the project. Okay. So Fatima, can you make a frame a sentence using where?
Miss, where?
Yeah. For example, they were
They
playing
were
chess. Yeah, yeah. The same.
they were moving the fridge.
Yeah. It's okay. It's fine. Very good. What is there in your hand? Stick or something? Ah, okay, 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 okay. Amal, Amal,
Yes, ma'am.
have you slept?
No,
Okay. Just turn the camera
I
on,
was
please.
just going to get some water.
Okay. So this is what we have learned the last class, Adish. Past continuous, we have completed it. And I hope you had gone through the materials I shared in the classroom. Have you gone through that? If there is any doubt, you can ask me, okay? Adish, I'll share the same to you. Okay, Fatima and Amal, I think there is no difficulty. If it is there, you have to correct me, right? Maximum materials are being uploaded in the classroom. Can I have a look at it? Audios are already there in the classroom. You can match both. Okay. Samal, are you ready?
Okay.
1 minute, ma'am.
So actually, the chapter we have to learn is related to historical elements. Last year also we had the same, right? We had learned about the rulers, then what explorers, then
Leaders.
yeah, explorers, rulers, explorers, leaders, and all. Okay, can you remember about any ruler?
Queen Elizabeth first.
Leader. She was a ruler, right? Leader.
Miss, you said leader, ruler.
Yeah, leader. Next one is
Leader.
leader. That's what I asked.
Gandhi.
Gandhi was a leader. Martin Luther, not Martin Luther. Nelson Mandela was a leader. Yeah. Explorer. There was an example for explorer, right? Was that Ibn Battuta? Right. So let me ask you one thing. Have you heard about Egyptian pyramids, pharaohs, mummy,
Miss, could you repeat that? Yeah.
Egyptian pyramids, mainly
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Gaza pyramid, then mummy, Egyptian mummies, not
Yes.
mummies, then pharaohs, rulers and all, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to that chapter, the hidden pharaoh. Pharaoh means actually a ruler, right? Okay, let me see. Okay, I'll share the slide, then it'll be clear. So we have, this is actually, if you're interested in history, it will be amazing. Because knowing about the past evolves curiosity, right? Makes us interested and makes us curious, knowing the past. Actually, Egyptians are having great culture. Can you hear me? It is they who invented papers, medicines, and there was a lot of things were there, actually invented by them. They had made a lot of contribution to the world of science and technology, and even now they are developing. They're having a great culture. Okay, let me show the tab. Okay, do you know what is it?
Pyramids.
Pyramids. This is actually many pyramids are there. This is in Gaza. Okay, a sphinx. It's called sphinx. Head of a man, a body of a lion. It's called sphinx. Okay, do you know that? Okay, do you know what does pharaoh mean? What does pharaoh mean? I already mentioned.
An ancient ruler in Egypt.
Okay, good. Can you read it, Amal?
As ancient Egyptian rulers, pharaohs were both the heads of state and the religious leaders of their people.
Yeah.
The word pharaoh means great house, a reference to the place where the pharaoh resides.
Yeah.
While early Egyptian rulers were called kings, over time the name pharaoh stuck.
Yeah. Now, the ancient Egyptians considered pharaoh as the leader, not only the leader of the state, but the religious leader also. Okay, they were having great importance in the society. They held high position also. Natives respected them. They were given the value and prestige. They were having privileges also. Okay, pharaoh. Okay, fine. Actually, this is a typical depiction of pharaoh. Okay, their appearance and all. See, this part is very important. The crown and all. The dressing style was different. They were having a great art. They gave much importance for artworks and all. The wall paintings are there. Many other things are there. Craft works were given importance. Amal, please come back.
Yes, ma'am.
How do we find about people who lived a long time ago? How do we find out about them? Details about them?
Through books,
Books only? Okay, actually, how the books were written?
through the people who lived with them.
It's very okay. It's okay.
Carvings or
Sorry.
ancient places. Going to ancient
Yeah,
places.
going to ancient places. Actually, getting details from the people is somewhat difficult because ancient people may not be there, right? And when we transfer knowledge from generation to generation, there will be a lot of additions, modifications, and alterations. Am I right? We will not give getting the exact details. The story told by one will may be different from that of others. So you'll not be getting a clear picture of that. So have you heard the term excavations?
Yeah,
What is actual excavation?
finding out about the
Thing. Mainly by digging, right? Yeah. So have you heard the branch of history called archaeology? Archaeology
yeah.
means the study of the human past using material remains. So after excavation, you'll be getting things like ancient remains like coins, pots, and all the things, right? As Fatima said, we may have to visit the places, right? And we have, with the permission, we may have to conduct an excavation, like digging the place, digging a particular place, getting the coins, not only coins, pots, and all the ancient remains, and we can study that. So the branch of history is called archaeology. Actually, this is a specialized branch of learning, you know. This is a specialized branch. Archaeology is a branch of study. So only those who are expert in archaeology and those who are licensed can do all these things. Simply, we cannot go to a place and have excavation. There will be some legal limitations. Okay. So archaeology is actually the study of the human past using remains. These remains can be any objects that people created, modified, or used. Okay. You got it? Actually, those who conduct such things are called archaeologists. Okay, you might have gone to certain museum, have you?
Yeah,
Museums.
I have been to
If
museum.
yes, in the museum you might have seen the dates and all. Chronological year. The date when it was not invented, but when it was created. For example, a jewelry item. It will be dated, right? Dated and labeled. So
Yeah, I
how
think
is it done for doing that? Everyone can? Who is labeling
No.
and finding out their chronological period?
They can know when
There
it
comes the
was made.
duty of archaeology. This archaeologist, after getting certain things, they'll be examining it carefully and they'll be having certain techniques for identifying the time span of a time period of when it was made. Then they will be dating it, labeling it, and will be sent to the museum. That is the process. And if you're getting after any ancient item, like why we were doing something in our lands, we have to conduct the archaeology department. They'll be coming, they'll be examining the thing, dating it. They are having certain procedures for dating it, giving date. Date in the sense the day is not they got it. Actually, if it is a port, they'll be examining it carefully and they'll be understanding when it is made. Approximate time period will be calculated. Okay. They'll be dating it, labeling it, and will be sent to the museums or archaeological museums, historical museums. This is actually the process. Okay. Suppose you're digging something in your land for some other purpose and you have got something different like a port or anything like that, you should never keep it there in your home. It's illegal. It's actually illegal and we have to contact the archaeology department for the same. They'll be doing that. Okay. This is called archaeology, archaeologist and the archaeology department. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to learn the archaeological discoveries in Egypt. Okay.
For hundreds of years, ancient Egypt has been a land full of mysteries and wonders, from the Great Pyramid of Giza to the mummies. It has always been a fascinating place for anthropologists and archaeologists alike to discover new things. And in the first 30 days of this year, that
If you're going to say that, do you know how the mummies are kept inside the tomb? Do you know that how it is made?
No.
They won't keep the exact dead body to the tomb. There are some other procedures. They will take some of the organs, inner organs, and that will be kept in separate pots. Okay. And the other part of the body, that means the body will be kept inside the tomb. They will never ever simply take it and keep inside the tomb. They have some superstitions or beliefs. They'll simply take some inner organs and will be kept inside a pot. So along with the pot, they won't take brain, I think. And other inner organs like heart and all, they'll be taking it. Kidney and they'll be taking it. They'll be keeping inside a pot. And along with that, they'll be keeping the same inside the tomb. Okay. They're having different customs, entirely different from that of other cultures. Entirely different actually. Okay. If you're interested, you can have a look at it. Okay.
included unearthing a mysterious tomb, a mummy wrapped in gold, and uncovering an entire ancient city. Egyptian archaeologists have also spent years meticulously excavating a site amid the ancient ruins of Saqqara near Cairo. Just about a week after the discovery of a mysterious tomb at Luxor, they announced a number of major discoveries dating back to the 5th and 6th dynasties of Egypt's Old Kingdom. more than 4,000 years ago. One of the most important was a large rectangular limestone sarcophagus found at the bottom of a vertical shaft about 50 feet deep. The sarcophagus found at the Giza Mudir site was about 45 tons and the lid was about 5 tons, equating to a grand total of 100,000 pounds. The lid was still sealed onto the sarcophagus with mortar, exactly as it had been left there some 4,300 years ago.
So, their written language is written sign is called hieroglyphics. Do you know that? This can be seen here. They use certain symbols for writing things. Instead of words, they use symbols, pictures and all. Writing things. Okay, that is called hieroglyphics.
It took the archaeologists about 2 hours of careful work to crack it open. Inside, they found what Zahi Hawass said was the oldest non-royal mummy ever discovered in Egypt. It was also the oldest mummy wrapped in gold leaf ever found in the country. While the ancient Egyptian at the bottom of the deep shaft was no pharaoh, the elaborate send-off to the afterlife made it clear he was also no commoner. And inscriptions on top of the sarcophagus suggested his name to be Hekasheps. His mummy and
You know what is inscriptions? Here you can see inscriptions. They may be communicating something this way. So it shows that the mummy is named Hekasheps. Okay. It is from the inscriptions and carvings you'll be getting a lot of information about the ancient Egyptian life and all. Actually, the archaeologists focused on such things. Okay.
sarcophagus are priceless as of now, as their worth is still being evaluated. But while Hekasheps will earn his place in the history books, the gold-wrapped mummy wasn't Hawass's favorite new discovery. Among the items displayed by Hawass and his team were 14 stone statues found inside another shaft, about 33 feet deep, dating back to the Old Kingdom, or the age of the pyramids between 2700 and 2200 BCE, thought to be even older than the mummy of Hekasheps. They also found a few more tombs, one of which belonged to a priest from the 5th dynasty known as Khumunjadef, one belonging to a judge and writer named Fetek, while another tomb belonged to a palace official named Meri, who held the title of Keeper of the Secrets. Archaeologists working in the southern Egyptian city of Luxor uncovered a complete Roman city that is some 1,800 years old. Mustafa Wazari, Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities, said the city dated back to the 2nd and 3rd centuries AD and described it as the oldest and most important city found on the eastern bank of Luxor. Egyptian archaeologists inspect mummified remains found in a newly discovered burial site in Luxor's Ra'abul-Naga necropolis, which they said was the first ever found in the area, dating back to ancient Egypt's 13th dynasty, between 1803 BC and 1649 BC. Archaeologists discovered a residential area in Luxor dating to the time when the Roman Empire ruled Egypt. Waziri, in a video posted on Twitter, announced that
سكنية متكاملة وفي برجين حمام.
The excavations, which began last September, also uncovered a hoard of
See, these are called remains of the culture. Actually, those people used it, and after having excavation, you'll be getting all these things. All these things will be labeled and sent to the museums. Okay.
tools, pots, and bronze and copper Roman coins, all priceless because of their rarity. It is a rare archaeological find in Egypt. There were also some uzabtis, small statuettes made of wood and painted white to imitate limestone that stuck out to the experts. During this time, Egypt was a Roman province, and Roman emperors were sometimes depicted as pharaohs. Fatih Yassin, Director General of Antiquities in Upper Egypt, told CBS News that the discoveries at the site included a pink granite sarcophagus weighing about 11 tons or 22,000 pounds, inscribed with the name of a minister named Ankho, who lived during the reign of King Sobihoptek II during the 13th dynasty. Archaeologists also disclosed several recent
That's enough actually. So this is actually the archaeological discoveries in Egypt. Okay, what all things could you find there? What are things you could find there?
Pots, mummies,
Hmm.
pots, mummies,
Then
uncovered.
actually the dead bodies were wrapped in golden leaves, right? Okay, then
Yeah,
any other details? Actually, are you watching such videos for the first time? Okay.
yeah. I'm not
Okay, it's
into
okay.
history.
That's why I saw this video. Actually, only the pictures are there in the textbook, but it's not only that. You have to know what all things are important in Egypt. What is archaeology? How they're discovering things. Okay, could you find that they were cleaning it, right? Using a special brush. They will never rub it using their hand because things will be fade. They'll be using a special brush for cleaning it. They'll be dating it and will be labeling it. Okay, it's very important process. Only they can do that. Okay. In order to know the time period of a particular item, they'll be having certain techniques and methods. Got it? Fine. This is actually a state archaeological museum in Kolkata. Okay. Have you been there? Not in Kolkata. Any archaeological museum have you visited?
In here there is a
This
Qatar
is a
National
historical museum,
Museum.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, what
I
all
think
things you
not
could find there?
archaeology. I don't
After when
remember. I went
okay.
long back,
Okay, then you
very
can
long.
recollect all the things after watching this video, I think. This is actually the archaeological museum belong to archaeological department. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, they'll be getting all the things like ancient remains and all and be labeling and sent to this museum, mainly to archaeological museum. Actually, we have historical museum and archaeological museum, and archaeological museum belongs to the state government. Not the state government only, the archaeological department also. Okay, so do watch it please. Amal, what are you doing there? I can't see your face, Amal.
Nothing. Oh, okay. I'll just adjust it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Now can you see?
You know one thing, we can never solve anything and we can never get anything from here. We're not even allowed to touch. Okay.
Yes.
That's all about the State Archaeological Museum in Kolkata. Many other videos are there, but I think this is the short one. Okay. Okay, then we can move to our textbook. This is from your textbook, Hatshepsut, that we have seen the video, right? A pharaoh rediscovered.
Yeah.
Okay, the same is there in the video. That's why I choose that. Actually, we came to know about the name of the pharaoh only for the inscriptions. You could see the inscriptions, right? They're on the wall. The inscription says that the ruler is named Hatshepsut. Okay. So can you read it, Tamal?
Hatshepsut, a pharaoh rediscovered. Hatshepsut
You can read it the way you like,
was the
because they will
daughter
never come and question us. Okay.
Thutmose I and the wife of another pharaoh, Thutmose II. When Thutmose II died in 1497
1790
BCE,
Do you know what is BCE?
Hatshepsut young before
Yeah.
Christ era.
Right. Hatshepsut.
Where was I? Hatshepsut's young stepson, Thutmose III, was made his heir. However, just before Thutmose III was old enough to become the pharaoh, Hatshepsut declared herself pharaoh. In theory, he was her co-ruler, but in practice, she made the decisions. At her request, she was sometimes shown in statues and paintings as a
Yeah,
male
sometimes
pharaoh.
she's shown in statues and paintings and male pharaoh. Okay, as we know, the ancient society was actually male-centered. Okay, and it was so difficult for them to accept a woman as a leader. Same is happening this visit right now, isn't it? Changes are there, obviously changes are there, but now also the thing is happening. We don't know when it will be changed, but we have to come forward, right? There's no need to wait for anyone to uphold us. We have to rise, we have to come forward. So actually in some of the paintings she was drawn as male pharaoh because they gave importance to the males. Mainly the patriarchy. It was a patriarchal society, actually male-centered society. Okay, are you getting me? Okay, Fatima.
Ma'am, this will be asked in exam.
This chapter is also there. You don't want to learn everything by heart, okay?
Hatshepsut was more interested in trade than in war. She sent her soldiers on an expedition along the southern shore of the Red Sea to a land called Punt, possibly modern-day Eritrea. They returned with gold, ivory, and unusual animals such as apes, panthers, and giraffes. Hatshepsut was also responsible for several grand buildings projects, including 2 obelisks at Karnak and a temple in the hills behind Deir al-Bahari, in which she was buried. One of the obelisks still stands at Karnak, the tallest in Egypt at 30 meters high. It was carved from a single piece of stone. In the temple of Hatshepsut, painted stone carvings show how the obelisk was carried on a barge down the river Nile. There are also scenes from the expedition to Punt, including men carrying trees in baskets to be replanted in Egypt.
Adish, you may read it. Reign means ruling time, okay? Duration of or the era of rule. Okay, then read this one, please.
Her 21-year reign was a time of peace and prosperity for Egypt. When she died, Thutmose III at last had the throne to himself. Later in his reign, he began to erase Hatshepsut from the historical record.
Please wait, Adish. He started erasing Hatshepsut from the history because it was a lady, right? Woman. So it was really a shame for them to uphold a woman or giving priority to a woman. They just want to be a male-centered society, and giving status and prestige to women was actually a crime for them. A curse for them. Okay, so he tried his level best for erasing her from the historical records. But how she is remembered even right now? because she was the only woman pharaoh in the history. So we can never forget her. Okay. Okay, Adish, you may read.
Destroying the images of her as a male pharaoh and removing her name from the
Yeah.
list of kings. She disappeared from history for over 3,000 years. It was only when archaeologists began to work at Deir el-Bahari in
Yeah.
1822, and when they found her tomb in 1903, that a true picture of Egypt's female pharaoh began to
Yeah.
be seen.
Actually, almost for 30 years, she was disappeared from the history. She disappeared from the history in the sense she was not shown anywhere. At least her name was not there in the history, as Tatson tried his level best to remove her from the historical records, right? So, but what happened later? When archaeologists began to work in Deir el-Bahari in 1822, they found her tomb. A true picture of Egypt female pharaoh began to be seen. That was actually a turning point. Okay, till that people were not known about the lady pharaoh. Okay, am I audible? Fatima, is there any problem? Okay.
No, miss.
See, this is actually their paintings and combined part of Egyptian pyramid. All these are handmade, you know. How much effort they might have taken for this. Can you imagine? Today we have many machines, technology, and all the things are there. It's very easy for us to make all such things, right? See, all these are man-made. They might have taken years for making it. They were not having even special tools or nothing was there. Okay. It's interesting aspect, right? What happened here today looking so calm and quiet? What happened? Okay. Okay, anyway, let me
Nothing,
show
miss.
this text, please. Okay, so we have listened to watch the video and gone to the article and text. So can you answer these questions? Try it out, please. Of which country was Hatshepsut was the ruler? Okay.
Egypt.
Look at the sentences which begins in the story, like who are he and she in this sentence. Okay. Actually, in this paragraph, we have gone to what is the paragraph number? Look at the sentence which begins in theory. Okay, let me show that. There is the paragraph which begins with in theory. There is the line. Where is it?
In theory, he was her co-ruler, but
Yeah.
in practice,
Who is
she
she
made the
mentioned here?
decisions.
He?
Hatchet.
Yeah.
Thutmose third.
Amal, are you there? Adish?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Okay. So, what sort of person do you think Hatshepsut was? What sort of a person? Was she a god? What is special about her? What do you know about her?
She liked trading more
Yeah,
than
right.
war.
She gave much importance to war, right? No, sorry, trade, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Total development she had
Yes.
made there in the country. What is special about her?
I don't remember after reading all those.
Okay, Fatima, can you?
Something
Yeah. What is special about her?
she sent her soldiers to an expedition along the southern shore of the Red Sea, and they returned with gold, ivory, and
Yeah.
unusual animals. And she was also responsible for several grand building projects,
Fine.
including 2
Yeah.
obelisks.
That's all about it. Fine. So, how does, okay, we have learned about archaeology, right? How does this article, this is an article about archaeology and all, shows the importance of archaeology. Or in your words, can you say something about archaeology and what is the significance?
If you're talking about the article, there was Thompson III who
Through
destroyed
the excavations they found about.
Yeah, that's it. And she was, the male rulers were trying to erase her from the history, right? It is only because of the
Yes.
efforts of archaeologists we could come to the fact that there was a female pharaoh. So generally, what is actually the use of archaeology? Advantage of archaeology?
To find when something happened, the date.
To find
Yeah,
about the
to
past.
learn about the past or find about the past, right? Okay, here we have some words in history. Co-ruler. Here, expedition, obelisk, peace, pharaoh, prosperity, reign, and all. All these words are related to history, actually. Okay. The thing is that, okay, can you talk something about Hatshepsut using any of these words? Like tomb, war, throne, expeditions, anything. Or can you just say something about Hatshepsut?
She liked trade more than
Then,
war.
She has made many
yeah.
changes.
Okay, so while saying, how you pronounce the word pharaoh? Pharaoh.
Pharaoh.
Okay. Rain means it's actually the same pronunciation as rain. The spelling is R-E, it's not rain. Rain. Okay. It's not hair, it's heir. Heir to the throne. Okay, that means next ruler to the throne. Tom. It's pronounced as Tom. How do you say?
Too.
See, this is the exact pronunciation of all these historical words. We may neglect that sometimes and we may learn like what we have learned, like Pharaoh and all. It's actually Pharaoh. Then it's not rain, it's actually rain. Okay. Here we can see the exact pronunciation of the same. You know, here, H is silent. It's air. It's not tomb. It's tomb. How do you say? Tombs too.
Too.
Notice how to say Thutmose. It's actually Thutmost. Thutmost. Okay. Okay, then we must have a discussion on. It's very important actually. We just started it, I think. Why do you think Hatshepsut wanted to be shown as male pharaoh? Why is she portrayed as male pharaoh?
Because the people didn't like to present a
Right. So
female.
then based on that, can you say something about the then society?
Discrimination
Discrimination in the sense?
based on gender.
So what about the present situation? Can you compare both?
present situation, there are female rulers
Yeah.
also, right?
Is it completely changed? Like, are we getting equal rights and privileges equally?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not changed.
Yes.
Okay, do you feel that something needs to be improved? Something needs to be changed? Do you think so? Are you
No.
satisfied with the
No.
present situation? Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
After marriage, women will be sent to men's home, right? Why they're coming to our home
Yeah.
and they're not coming to us? Is it equality?
No.
Yes, that's
Culture is
culture.
actually a barrier.
Yeah. That's how all the people does, and
Yeah, that's
we
the
also
problem.
follow that.
So there we have to change. Actually, I could read an article on gender equality. There I could read the same. That's why I discuss the same here. The writer was asking if the women are going to their husband's home, why they can't come back? Why they can't share half an year to each other's home? Why is it not possible? Actually, customs and traditions stand as a barrier for us, right? We are asked to follow what is being followed. No one is there to change it. That's a problem, isn't it? And suppose women are going for a job along with their household works, taking care of the baby. What about the male figures? Most of the male figures,
Do not take care of the
yeah, they just want to have
households.
their bathing, brushing, or having breakfast and going to office, right? Most of them, not everyone. Exceptions are there. Okay, but what about the women? Is it possible for them? They can have job only
No.
after completing all the household works and taking care of the child and everything. So my question is, are we equally getting rights, privileges? Are you sure?
Yes.
Actually, when we look at
Yeah.
the upper strata of the society or certain strata of the society, we may think so. But generally, when we say, the truth is that many women are deprived of all these rights. Actually, by term they're having rights, but practically they're not getting it. As we're living in a city, we may not be facing such difficulties. But when we come to rural areas, especially the northern states and all, there also we can see the brutal discrimination the women are facing. Okay, the thing is that something we have to we have to move on to the path of equality. I think so. I don't know, the opinion may differ from person to person. Some things also are there to change, there to be changed. Okay, anyway, things have changed to an extent, right? Changes are there, especially in the field of education, job, and all. But the thing is that things have to be changed in our family. That's a problem, right? Otherwise, it's okay. So, when you grow up, you will start thinking about it. Okay, fine. Now it may not be coming to your mind. Fine, fine. So, do you have any concerns over these chapters? Is it clear?
No, miss.
Adish?
Yeah.
Okay, here just focus on the vocabulary items.
Yeah, but in the portion still 6 unit is
Where?
there, right? In WhatsApp, Arundhati ma'am posted a portion
Let me see.
list,
Just a
right?
minute. Just a minute.
Wait.
WhatsApp. Can you forward it, Amal?
No,
7
no,
is
no,
there,
no,
I
no.
think.
7. Yeah, 7
Miss,
is there.
it's in the live
Sorry?
classroom.
Okay,
It
it's
is in the
okay.
GAT
If I'm
classroom.
opening it, the things will be. Yeah, 7 is
7
there,
is there.
right? First 3 chapters or the 2? Unit 7, how many chapters?
Miss, for 7, it's lesson 1 and 2.
Wait, wait. Yeah, 1 and 2. First chapter and this one. That's all about term 2 exams. We have completed all the portions anyway. So I'll rewind the important points in the coming classes. Means that tomorrow and day after tomorrow I'll be revising things, right? Okay, fine. So the
Yes,
time is
miss.
over. Have a great day. Bye bye.